And once again, I want to say greetings to each and every one of you. Aquaba. Welcome. Welcome to another round of Culturally Conscious Communications here on LIB Radio, LIB TV here on livinginblack.com. My name is Kedia Wadu, aka The Conscious Rock. The weekday mornings, you and I get together live. We come at you from 9 a.m. Pacific time. That's 12 noon Eastern time. And that is 5 p.m. BST and 8 p.m. East Africa time. We get together with you and we deal with culture, consciousness, historical perspectives, entertainment, economics, education, health, labor, law, politics, religion, family, conflict, future studies, all areas of human interactivity and development. Today's date is Thursday. It is the 4th day of September 2025 in the Western calendar. This corresponds to the year 6266 in the calendar of ancient Kemet, to which we've realigned our cultural clock. Welcome to the 7th millennium. You have found your family in a peaceful place here on LIB Radio, LIB TV, and livinginblack.com. It is Thursday. That means it's time for Tech and Future Talk. Today on libradio.com is Tech and Future Talk. We explore the transformative power of renewable energy, a vital cornerstone for intentional communities striving for sustainability, resilience, and self-reliance. Whether you're off-grid or simply seeking to reduce your environmental footprint, renewable energy offers more than just clean power. It's a pathway to independence and shared values. From solar panels that harness the sun's abundant energy to wind turbines, micro hydro systems, and biomass solutions, communities now have access to technologies that align with ecological stewardship and long-term affordability. Beyond the technology, renewable energy fosters collaboration, innovation, and a deeper connection to the land. So that is our conversation. In this episode today, we will unpack how intentional communities are integrating renewable energy strategies into daily life, the challenges they face, the creative solutions they're pioneering. Whether you are just starting out, you're looking out or if you're just starting out or looking to expand your energy strategy, this conversation is designed to inspire and empower your journey toward a cleaner, more connected future. This is a very important topic today. Renewable energy is essential. It's essential for building a sustainable, equitable, and resilient future. It serves as a critical solution to combat climate change, enhance energy security, and drive economic growth. The global transition to renewables, led by solar and wind power, is accelerating with significant capacity increase projected. With significant capacity increases projected and costs continuing to decline, making clean energy more accessible and cost effective than ever before. So that's the topic. Stick with me, everybody. I know this as a fact. You will be enlightened. You will be informed. You will be inspired. And hopefully you will want to stand up, roll up your sleeves, and get in for renewable energies for our future. I say greetings to you, my brother Shabaka checking in the house. He says, greetings, Baba, and LIB family. He sends his greetings out to each and every one of you. Also, as you know, Brother Shabaka, we always hit the like button as soon as we can, check in, and let others out there know we are here and we do agree. I see on the YouTube page, Four Corners. Everything's really real. Checking in. Great conversation. Definitely at the right time. I thank you so much for that, great Four Corners, because it is the right time. We've had this conversation many times before, and it was the right time then too. So we toward the idea of Kujichagulia villages. In the plan for the Kujichagulia villages is not just a renewable energy microgrid to serve our village. It is a permaculture campus where people will come to the Kujichagulia villages and learn critical technical skills, vocational skills. Among the most critical vocational skills for the immediate future is the installation and maintenance of these renewable energy microgrids. So it's all about what kind of future do we want? Had we had the chance, I would go back many, many years and start this in my own Kujichagulia village that I grew up in. But we do not travel through time, not that way. But we do travel through space, and I can assure you, Africa is the future of all kinds of commerce on this planet. And this renewable creation of renewable energy microgrids and maintenance of these microgrids is undeniably a significant part of Africa's energy future. So let's go into the details. Let's talk about the various types or the various motivations, grand reasons of why renewable energy is so essential for building this sustainable future. First, climate change mitigation. Renewable energy sources like solar, wind, and biomass produce little to no direct carbon emissions, which is vital for limiting global warming to 1.5 degrees centigrade, as outlined in the Paris Agreement. Achieving this goal requires renewable energy to supply over 80% of the global power sector by 2050. Over 80%. And right now, the Paris Accord agreements are not being met. The Western companies, the Western countries did not invest the money in the developing countries. The technology is still being held proprietary for profiteering. It's not. Paris agreements, we can't say they have failed because they set a long target date, but the Paris Accord agreements are not even close to being on track, let alone the United States dropping out of the Paris Accords. Potentially avoiding up to 70 by supplying renewable energy to over 80% of the global power sector by 2050, potentially avoiding up to 70% of energy-related carbon dioxide emissions. Energy security and independence. By harnessing local, naturally replenished sources, such as sunlight and wind, countries can reduce their dependence on imported fossil fuels, mitigating risks from geopolitical instability and price volatility. For example, the 2022 global energy crisis prompted many European nations to accelerate their investment in wind and solar power. 2022 global energy crisis. Next, let's think about economic security and job growth. That's very important. And economic growth and job creation. The renewable energy sector is one of the fastest growing industries worldwide, employing over 13 million people globally in 2022, with projections to exceed 38 million by 2030. This growth drives innovation, creates high-skilled jobs in manufacturing, installation, and maintenance, and it supports local economies, especially in rural and underserved areas. Next, universal energy access. Decentralized renewable sources like solar, home systems, and mini grids offer a viable path to electrify the 675 million people who still lack access to electricity, particularly in sub-Saharan Africa and parts of Asia. This will, of course, improve health, will improve education, and provide livelihoods, good jobs for 675 million people, especially sub-Saharan Africa, Technical advancements. The future of renewables is being shaped by innovations in energy storage, smart grids, and hydrogen fuel. Battery storage, such as flow batteries, addresses intermittency by storing excess energy for use during low generation periods, while AI-powered forecasting improves grid integration and efficiency. The cost of solar power has dropped nearly 90% over the last decade, over 90%. And the advancements in solar photovoltaic technology are producing lighter, more flexible, and efficient panels. Projected growth. According to the International Energy Agency, the IEA, renewable energy capacity is expected to grow by 7,300 gigawatts between 2023 and 2028. 7,300 gigawatts between 2023 and 2028. We're right in the middle of that, aren't we? With solar PV and onshore wind usage set to at least double in countries like India, Brazil, Europe, and the US. In 2023 alone, renewable energy capacity increased by 50%, with solar PV photovoltaic accounting for 3/4 of that growth, increased 50% in 1 year alone. Wow. Challenges and solutions. Despite its promise, the transition faces obstacles, including infrastructure gaps, high upfront financial costs, inconsistent policies, and public resistance. These challenges can be addressed through forward-thinking government policies, public-private partnerships, and community engagement to build and dispel misinformation. And let me tell you, with Donald Trump's attitude pervasive, dig, or what did he say, drill, baby, drill, coal, the new renewable energy that is not renewable. With this attitude, it's getting worse. And as long as that attitude is allowed to proliferate, it will continue to get worse even faster. So at a certain point, we, the people, the public, are going to have to take the initiative here. Don't expect the U.S. government for the foreseeable future to be an active participant in this. Renewable energy sources. Let's talk about the various sources. Despite its promise, the transition faces obstacles, including infrastructure gaps, high upfront financial costs, inconsistent policies, and public resistance. These challenges can be addressed. I just read this. Renewable energy sources. That's what I'm reading. The most promising renewable energy for the future are solar, wind, hydropower, geothermal, and bioenergy, with solar and wind expected to dominate due to rapid growth and cost reductions. According to the International Energy Agency, IEA, renewables are central to the global transition towards sustainable energy systems, with solar photovoltaics and onshore wind projected to at least double by capacity by 2028 in key regions like India, Brazil, Europe, and the US. Solar energy. Solar photovoltaic is the fastest growing renewable source, with generation capacity increasing by 50% in 2023 alone, making up 3/4 of that growth. The cost of solar power has dropped nearly 90% over the past decade, and next generation panels are even more efficient and flexible, capable of generating electricity even in low sunlight. Energy storage, particularly through advanced flow battery technology, is critical to managing solar's intermittency and ensuring a stable grid. Next, wind energy. Wind power, especially offshore wind, is set to expand significantly, with the IEA forecasting its generation to more than double by 2028. The U.S. has plans to deploy 30 gigawatts of floating offshore wind power by 2030, which could power 10 million homes. Offshore wind farms are moving into deeper waters to harness stronger, more consistent winds. And let me tell you, I project there is tremendous growth potential in wind power. It has always been part of my own personal goal, is to be building these microgrids consisting of solar, wind, hydropower, geothermal, biomass, etc. To build them, to be on the forefront. And wind energy offshore and on land is very important toward those goals. Hydropower. This is really expanding right now, especially on the African continent. Hydropower remains the largest source of clean energy through 2030, with small scale and micro hydropower. Small scale and micro hydropower systems providing sustainable energy to remote areas without large dams. Innovations like turbines made from recyclable thermoplastic composites are being tested to improve durability and reduce environmental impact. Geothermal energy. While traditionally limited by location, enhanced geothermal systems, EGS, are making this resource more widely accessible by injecting water into hot rock formations, potentially enabling geothermal energy production globally. This technology could provide a reliable, low-cost, and nearly inexhaustible source of clean power. Bioenergy. Bioenergy from biomass, including sustainable aviation fuels, SAF, and biofuels like biodiesel and bioethanol, is a nearly zero emission energy source. Research is focused on reducing production costs and environmental impacts while improving quality. United States Department of Energy is actively developing technologies to support this sector, bioenergy from biomass. And when we talk about biomass and bioenergy, it's really about creating energy from waste. It could be from human waste, could be from the waste that currently goes into landfills. Many of those landfills at a certain point do express, one might say, or they do generate methane gas that then goes into the atmosphere. Well, if as we design these systems of waste management to where the energy is captured, the methane gas is captured, that's biomass. It's not so difficult to describe and define these systems. At a Kujichagulia village, we could be the architects, inventors, and the developers of biomass, turning our waste into energy. I do see four corners in the house. Everything's really real. I actually build earth homes, wondering if there are international communities of high melanin content being formed. Yes, 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 yes. We are now in the process. I'm going to highlight you for a second. We are in the process of building Kujichagulia villages. If you look at the promotion for today's broadcast, and let me show you that 1 second. Let me show you the promotion for today's broadcast. It is actually the Kujichagulia village you're seeing right there. Let me just take that off. That's the village. This is the model of the Kuji villages that we are developing. If you go to my Facebook page, you will find this image, and you'll also learn a lot more. We've done a number of broadcasts on the Kujichagulia villages going back several months, and I do invite you, please, please do get well informed on this whole topic. It is a wonderful topic. And let me just see 1 second. Here, what am I doing? I'm taking this topic and highlighting this. There it is. Yeah, please do take advantage of what we are doing there with the Kujichagulia villages. So I'm going to go back here to my regular camera and turn this back on and turn this back on. And where are you? Here we are. Okay, so that's what we are doing with the Kujichagulia villages, okay? So do join with us. Send me a note. Let's get in contact. Uja, my sister Basu Nefert Ra Seshat, Uja Babakiti and Living in Black Community, Community Worldwide. Community, I like that. I appreciate that. And greetings to you today, beloved. We're going to double check over here with the Rumble page and see if there's anybody else checking in with us. We did see Shabaka checking in and nobody else is there, but I bet you you are there with us in spirit as well. Let's continue. We are at the point of the conversation. We're talking about other emerging energy sources. Wave and tidal energy are being explored as additional renewable options, though they are currently limited by high installation costs and geographic constraints. Fusion energy, while still experimental, is considered a potential game changer if it can be developed at a reasonable cost. Fusion energy, that is another very important topic. Another one we have here, sea algae. Sea algae, particularly microalgae and macroalgae, are emerging as promising third-generation renewable energy sources due to their high growth rates, ability to thrive in non-arable environments, and capacity to sequester carbon dioxide. Unlike traditional biofuels delivered from food crops, Algae can be cultivated in seawater, wastewater, or saline environments without competing for fertile land or freshwater sources, making seawater-based algae a sustainable and versatile feedstock for bioenergy. It also could be developed for as feedstock for cattle as well, or for livestock as well. Microalgae are capable of producing oil content ranging from 20% to 80% of their dry weight, significantly higher than terrestrial crops like corn or soybeans. They can yield up to 14,641 gallons of biofuel per acre annually, far exceeding conventional crops. This high productivity is attributed to their rapid growth cycle, with some species doubling in size every few hours, and their high photon conversion efficiency of 3 to 8% compared to 0.5% for terrestrial plants. Algae can be grown in open ponds or enclosed photobioreactors, with the latter offering better control over contamination and environmental conditions. Through open systems, though open systems are more cost effective, the cultivation of microalgae also offers dual benefits. It can treat wastewater by utilizing nutrients like nitrogen and phosphorus, and it captures CO2, carbon dioxide, from industrial emissions, contributing to climate change mitigation. Beyond biodiesel, algae biomass can be converted into a range of energy products through various processes, including anaerobic digestion for biogas, fermentation for bioethanol, and pyrolysis for bio-oil. The residual biomass is rich in carbohydrates and proteins, enabling the production of high-value co-products such as omega-3 fatty acids, antioxidants, and pigments for use in pharmaceuticals, cosmetics, and food industries. I'm going to reread that last section. And I'm going to reread it because I'm hoping you heard us being invited in for our creativity. Beyond biodiesel, algae biomass can be converted into a range of energy products through various processes, including anaerobic digestion for biogas, fermentation for bioethanol, and pyrolysis for bio-oil. The residual biomass is rich in carbohydrates and proteins, enabling the production of high-value co-products like omega-3 fatty acids, antioxidants, and pigments for use in pharmaceuticals, cosmetics, and food industries. Wow. Microalgae, or seaweed, are also a viable resource, with some species capable of growing in challenging marine conditions and producing significant amounts of lipids and sugars suitable for biofuel production. The marine algae biofuel is sulfur-free and considered a clean, renewable biofuel, a clean, renewable alternative to fossil fuels. Despite their potential, challenges remain in scaling up commercial production, particularly in efficient biomass harvesting, processing, and reducing operational costs. However, ongoing research and technological advancements are focused on overcoming these hurdles with the goal of integrating algae-based bioenergy into a circular economy and a sustainable energy systems. So that is really, really, really very important. I'm going to expound on two statements here. First is I want to expand on, bear with me, expand on this first conversation, expand on that. And secondly, we're going to expand on, and bear with me, algae biomass, algae biomass, capital AND, the following. Okay, so let's see if I did this right using my search engine in the background. The first one I did not do correctly, but I am now correcting that, and it should give me what I wanted. And the same thing with the second one. Do it a second time. Here is the first search. Where is you? Algae biomass and the residual biomass. Okay, composition of residual algae biomass. This is not the first one. This is the second one. Here is the first one. It is entitled Biomass is a versatile feedstock for bioenergy production due to its high lipid content, rapid growth rate, and ability to thrive in diverse environments. Here's a deeper look at the three major conversion pathways. Number one, anaerobic digestion to biogas. Anaerobic digestion, and this is all keepers. So let me just do this, copy, cut, and paste right now. And then we're going to do this other one we have over here. Copy, go over here, go to the end, and paste it. And that is what this one says. Let me clean it up. Bear with me. This is a lot. This is very time consuming. I've been doing this all morning after my morning exercise. I had a meeting on Zoom, and so it's been a little bit hectic. Anaerobic digestion, biogas. Anaerobic digestion, that's without oxygen, is a biochemical process where microorganisms break down organic matter in the absence of oxygen. The process, algal biomass is placed in sealed digesters where bacteria converts it into biogas, primarily composed of methane, CH4, and carbon dioxide, CO2. Advantages. Number one advantage, it utilizes whole biomass, including proteins and carbohydrates. It can be integrated with wastewater treatment using algae grown on nutrient-rich effluents. The challenges include untreated algae may degrade slowly due to tough cell walls. Untreated algae. So you got tough cell walls. That's got to be considered. 2, pretreatment. Example given, thermal, chemical, enzymatic can improve biogas yield. Fermentation, bioethanol. Fermentation is a biochemical conversion method that transforms sugars into, where am I at? Into ethanol using yeast or bacteria. The process, carbon dioxide or carbohydrate rich algae especially species with high starch or cellulose content, are hydrolyzed to release fermentable sugars, which are then fermented into bioethanol. Some of the advantages of this include produces a liquid fuel comparable with existing infrastructure. That's very important. We want to use the existing infrastructure of combustible technology cars for the biofuels, and ethanol can be used in that context, no doubt. The challenges include requires efficient hydrolysis to access the sugars. We're talking about accessing the sugars, breaking down these cellulose materials. Cellulose is not easy to get sugar from, but cellulose is sugar. OSE, the suffix of cellulose, means sugar. Requires efficient hydrolysis to access the sugars, and some algae species may need genetic or enzymatic modification to optimize their sugar content. So the first system they talk about pyrolysis, Pyrolsis, pyrolysis, bio-oil. Pyrolysis is the thermochemical process that decomposes organic material at high temperatures, 300 to 700 degrees centigrade, in the absence of oxygen. The process: algal biomass is heated in a reactor, producing bio-oil, biochar, and syngas. Advantages include, but hopefully are not limited to, number one, it converts lipids, proteins, and carbohydrates into energy-dense products. That is a wonderful advantage. Two, bio-oil can be upgraded into transportation fuels. And that's how people take the bio-oil that they get from fast food restaurants and things, and they convert that in a reactor. And the reactor merely is just heat and turns it into diesel fuel. Biochar can be used as a soil amendment or carbon sink. And that sounds like a dual advantage to me. Soil amendment, meaning you're putting the carbon back into the soil, or carbon sink, meaning you're putting the carbon into the soil. Essentially, you're beginning the process that created coal thousands, hundreds of thousands of years ago. You have various variants of this process. You have fast pyrolysis, slow pyrolysis, microwave-assisted, and catalytic pyrolysis offer different product yields and quality. The integration potential pyrolysis can be combined with anaerobic digestion to enhance overall energy recovery. I hope you are finding this to be fascinating. Personally, I am fascinated by this. I do see another page in here. Cricketing Trends is joining us. Thumbnail, image, place, name, or is it graphics? It's AI graphics. Thank you for asking that. That the image is AI graphics. That is a picture of the Kujichagulia village, Ghana projection. We are projecting the creation of 3 villages initially: Ghana, Kenya, Uganda. And those images are AI renderings. There's also going to be coming soon a documentary film of the Kuji villages as well. We have a whole collection of these renderings, including the roundhouses. We have them rendered, and we can dissect those roundhouses and see how they will be constructed. We're really at a point right now where this has got to come out of my head. It is what you see there in the images has come out of my head. There are a lot of images. There are 30 or 40 of them, and it's really gorgeous. But it's got to come out of my imagination, and we're going to put this on the ground. We have partners in Ghana ready, willing, and able. We have land accessible for us to lease. We have collaboration, cooperation with various members of the Ghanaian government. So what are we waiting on? The money. We're waiting on the money. The money is too much for an individual, meaning myself. Too much money to raise. Way too much. If I saved all my money and put all my money into Kujichagulia villages, it would take me 40 or 50 years at best to raise $2 million for the first village. But if we had 50 people, then we would only have to raise $40,000 apiece. If we had 100 people, that's only $20,000 apiece. So we can see the more and more people that get engaged, involved, and committed to the completion of the first village, the earlier we'll have the first village completed. And once the first village is completed, up, demonstrable, then getting other models into place will be easy, much easier. Raising $2 million for a village is out of the reach of one person, but within the reach of hundreds of people. So we can do this. I hope you do agree, and thank you for responding to the picture. I love the pictures myself. Learn more at http KUJICEJJULIA villages.com. Now, let me just confirm that that's right. Learn more at kujichagulia I'm going to click that up here. And let me just paste this. I got to confirm it. Kujichagulia Villages. No, not on Facebook. You can just type in the link learn more at, but I didn't want to put all of that in there. I want to type in just this. kujichaguliavillages.com. And it's there, isn't it? There it is, Kujichagulia Villages. That's it. So let me just put up the link from the LIBTV website. They're both connected, but one is direct and the other is indirect. So you can check it out. You let me know. Do you see anything there that's attractive to you personally that you would maybe want to commit your time, effort, and energies to? I hope you do. I hope you do. So I'm putting this up on my page here, and we're going to put this up on the home page as well. And I'm going to continue, and then I'm going to wrap it up real quickly because I have a lot of work to do to prepare for the feast this Saturday. I'm going to get right into the kitchen and start preparing the foods. And I'm also a little bit weary. Here's the thing, if I don't get a lot of interactivity with the audience, I get tired. Because you, my audience, you give me energy. That's not so hard to figure out. But it is apparently hard to commit to. We're doing the best we can, and we're going to learn to do even better for each other. But I love the ideas of the village. I love the Kujichagulia villages. We're continuing. Where was I? Almost finished for today. It's another 10 minutes or so we should be finished. Bonus. We're talking about integration potential pyrolysis can be combined with anaerobic digestion to enhance overall energy recovery. Bonus, other energy pathways, emerging pathways. Hydrothermal liquefaction converts wet algae biomass into biocrude under pressure and temperature. There is gasification, produces syngas. Let me hit this one. And bear with me, this is worth it. Okay. So, other emerging pathways, hydrothermal liquefaction converts out wet algae biomass into biocrude under high pressure and temperature. Next, gasification produces syngas, CO plus H2 from algae, which can be used for electricity or fuel synthesis. And then there is photobiological hydrogen production. Photobiological hydrogen production. Some algae can produce hydrogen under specific light and nutrient conditions. Algae's ability and rich biochemical profile make it a promising candidate for sustainable bioenergy. The choice of conversion method depends on the algae species, desired energy product, and integration with other systems. That's very, very important. And here we're now going to go into, that was from a search. The next search was, bear with me. I got a lot of stuff on my desktop. I don't have time for all of it today, but we're looking at algae biomass and the residual biomass rich in carbohydrates and proteins, enabling the production of high-value food co-products. You're tapping into a fascinating and rapidly evolving area of biotechnology. Here's a breakdown of how algae biomass, especially its residual fraction, is being leveraged across industries. So I'm going to copy this. This is not very long at all. And I'm going to share this one on the record as well. And then we'll be through for today. So this deals with the composition of residual algae biomass. What happened? Composition of residual algae biomass. Bold home. Here is what, after extracting primary products like biofuels or oils, the leftover biomass is far from waste. Number one, it's rich in carbohydrates and proteins. These macronutrients make it ideal for further processing. It contains bioactive compounds including omega-3 fatty acids like DHA and EPA. It contains antioxidants and pigments such as chlorophyll, carotenoids, and phycobiliproteins. Applications of high-value co-products include residual algae biomass is a gold mine for pharmaceuticals. Bear with me, I'm just doing a little bit of editing here. It's a gold mine for pharmaceuticals. Antioxidants and polyphenols from algae show anti-inflammatory, antimicrobial, and even anti-diabetic properties. Cosmetics. Pigments and fatty acids are used in anti-aging creams, sunscreens, and moisturizers. And third, for the food industry, Proteins and omega-3s are added to functional foods, supplements, and even plant-based meat alternatives. Regarding its use in sustainable and economic potential, algae can be cultivated on non-arable land using non-potable water, making it a sustainable alternative to traditional crops. The circular use of residual biomass enhances economic feasibility and reduces waste in algae-based production systems. So if you are exploring this research, product development, or just curiosity, I'm hoping today's program will help you to satisfy your itch so you can scratch deeper into extraction methods, strain selection algae, what kind of strains we're going to use, or marketing trends. This is also so very important. I kind of want to keep going on it, but I'm not, because there's a lot more to it. Opening new links and new tabs. The first one from Springer, from Nature magazine, bioactive compounds from microalgae and its application in foods. That's the first one. And there's a lot to it. Let me see if I can copy, cut, and paste this. No, it doesn't want me to. I'll have to get it a little bit later. The second article it has up here from Frontiers, the article from Nutrition Journal, Nutrition and Food Science Technology, Developing Algae as a Sustainable Food Source. That is so wonderfully important and hopefully informative as well. Let me copy, cut, and paste just this abstract. And then we're going to go on from here. Bear with me as you are listening to me talk to myself. This is, to me, absolutely fascinating. Developing algae as a food source. Boom. And the third article that I pulled up in the background, use of residual lignocellulosic biomass and algae biomass to produce biofuels. So there we have a lot of information. If you're interested in it, develop it. Go further into it. Start compiling a big folder of these articles. You're going to find they link to another, to another, to another. You can use an artificial intelligence chat GPT-4 to kind of get you into the flow of it. And if you are hungry enough, you're enthusiastic enough, in just a couple of days, you can gain a semester's worth of college level studies. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. I know that you can because that's what I do. That's why I do what I do here on LIB Radio. And someone reminded me today, I have been producing at least 5 to 6 shows per week of detailed research for over 22 years. Daily. We took better part of 2014 off. I almost couldn't stand it anymore. Probably should have finished then, but we kept on going. Came back in 2015 with a renewed spirit and went deep, deep, deep into narrower areas of research. And that 2015 was the year I really discovered to the depth of the topic called Africa Rising. And since 2015, everything that I've been done is toward building Africa for the sustainable future that you and I need. And that's a good thing. So what we're going to do at this point, I'm going to wrap it up. It's been a good day. It's going to be a great day. Thank you all for tuning in today. There are a number of books I pulled out for those who are interested. These are from my collection of books. First, there is this one here with this dialogue on building our own renewable energy microgrids. When this dialogue first was being developed, it came out in this book, February 2018. It came out in this book called Futurenomics, positioning your enterprise to win in the new global economy. Futurenomics, building renewable energy microgrids. I developed different ideas that contributed to today's conversation in the book. This is Scientific Futurism. This came out in 2023. From I Am Ka, the brother from the future. The Technology of Control. This book actually dates back to the late 1900s. It dates back to the late 20th century, 1990s. The Technology of Control. Surviving the Future that We Feared. AI has a God complex. I was writing about stuff they're talking about this month. That AI has the potential to get way beyond human control much sooner than what we could imagine. AI has a God complex. Again, this one written from the perspective of the brother from the future. Here's a quote that's on the back. The system of nature, of which man is a part, tends to be self-balancing, self-adjusting, self-cleansing. Not so with technology. Wow. AI has a God complex, and the latest book to come out is called Quantum Advancement. Spectacular discoveries along the magnificent journey. Quantum advancement. Now we're getting into quantum computing to go with this quantum AI, and we're getting into huge AI service banks using a huge amount of energy. It's getting crazy. It's getting out of control. But what you can control, what you really, truly can control to a great extent, is your relationship to health. That's why I focus so much of the work that I do on getting control of our health. I had a conversation today with my brother from across the water. He's in the UK. And he was telling me about his mother. And all mothers are precious. All mothers are precious. His mother is precious. I lost my mother at a very early age, but I know that my mother was so precious. I know my mother's best friend at the time, and she's still going strong. And she is so precious. The relationships carry into next generations because we respect our mothers just that much. But I was talking to my friend, and he was telling me his mother was in the grip of the National Health Service, NHS, and that they were telling her she had vascular dementia. Now, to me, vascular dementia might be a made-up diagnosis. I recognize the words and understand what it means. Vascular dementia means our brain is starving for oxygen, starving for nutrients. Vascular, what is vascular dementia? And so when he told me that, it reminded me of the book that I had written. And I told him immediately, do you have the book? Which he did. It was right there on the shelf, right behind him. I says, do you have the book Miracle on 2 Feet? Prevention and Recovery from Stroke. He said, yeah, I do have them handy. Prevention and Recovery from Stroke. I said, read the subtitle. What does it say? It said Prevention and Recovery. And the National Health Service had told him they could not do anything further for his mother. And they actually said, we're going to wait until the symptoms of it get worse, and then we're going to drug her. And I told him, you need to fire all of those people. You need to get rid of that team and start your own team, your own recovery team. His father was on the team. He was taking care of the wife, but was mismanaging it. And his sister had had a stroke several years ago, and she was being taken care of by her husband, and he was mismanaging it. They were not getting better. I said, read the subtitle of that book. What does it say? Prevention and Recovery from Stroke. I have one other friend. I got the book to him, and his wife had had a stroke. And within a couple of weeks, he said, man, Keity, that book was exactly what I needed. So how can one group be having good success with this book, Prevention and Recovery from Stroke, Miracle on 2 Feet, while others have such bad luck? It's an application of knowledge. I can give you knowledge today, yesterday, every day, all day. But if you do not apply that knowledge, especially when it comes to your health, then I am talking to not much of an audience. I think we can do better than that. We can certainly do better than that. I'm going to take up that topic. Maybe I'll take that topic up very soon, vascular dementia. And we'll put it on the table for analysis here amongst this family. What is vascular dementia? Do you agree? Should we take that one on? It is, in certain ways, it is a stroke. But it's also kind of giving in to the stroke or the possibility that is unrecoverable. And for me, that is unacceptable. You've been tuned into LIB Radio, LIB TV, livinginblack.com. Your favorite, we want to be your favorite. We are livinginblack.com. I want to thank one brother who came through yesterday, and I don't have his name handy, bear with me. But he went to my catalog, and he ordered 10 books. 10 books. And I'm going to send him at least one bonus book for his effort. Thank you so much for all we do here at LIB Radio. We are rewarded by your efforts. You hear me? And you do act appropriately. Thank you for what you do to make our relationship better. All the better. You've been tuned into LIB Radio, LIB TV, livinginblack.com. I want to thank you all. It's been a good day. It's going to be an even better day in your neighborhood. Peace and prosperity to each and every one of you. On your favorite, we aim to be your favorite. We are LIB Radio, LIB TV. We are livinginblack.com. And on that note, we are out of here, y'all. What a day, what a day, what a great day it's been. Peace, y'all.